All right, there you go. We are live. Move this stool out of the way so I don't trip over it. My glasses are cleaner. They were really dirty today. Really dirty today. Because it was one of those days. Just one of those days. So, yes. Okay, everything seems to be operating properly. I actually may have gotten everything working properly, which is rare for me. Okay, so you're going to have to give me some slack and some credit, even though I normally don't get everything working properly. So, really fucking tired today. I walked cutting grass for 5.5 hours today. Yes, 5.5 hours cutting grass, walking. So that's, my legs are beat. I was like, holy shit, how many steps is that? I have no idea. I don't have one of those little tracky things, but see shitty, 3:30. I don't know. How many steps is 5.5 hours of walking? That's what I want to know, see shitty. Do you know that? Can you figure that out? Is there a calculation for that? I didn't look yet. I was going to ask the amazing AI, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So anyway, I think we're up and running. Let me see, make sure I'm up and running over here. Sorry, I'm just double checking. There he is. Okay, that's working. I love it. All right, welcome to Randsanity, episode 335, T-minus 30 days to doing this one full year. 1 full year. That means I've done this for a whole year. Okay, so I have something a little different tonight because I've been trying to get this thing to work, and I got it to work tonight. So I've got main camera. I'm going to have to move my tea. Sorry. What up, Charlie X? Bam! All right, so I've got something new to it. I said, you know what? I want to try doing like MST 3000, where you harass. Fuck, where did I put this? Shit. All right, so I've got my main camera here. I've got my closing camera here. I've got my distant camera. What's up for my guests when I ever get a guest? And wait, here it is. There it is. Look at that. I've got the 4th camera hooked up tonight. So this one is the ability for me to do videos and pictures and everything else. So I can actually watch stuff on TikTok and then, berate them or rate them. So what this is, though, because exactly 1 year ago today, I was filming with Stephen He doing day tripping. Okay. I was in Pittsburgh or Cleveland. On May 2nd, I was in Cleveland. I had to look back. So we're going to do that a little bit. We're going to watch like a teeny bit of the snippet of the episode, like the first minute or so, because I'm in it and then I'm not. Because remember, I'm along for the ride. That was the whole thing. I was the guy in the van along for the ride. The initial thing was I got hired to be like, hey, you want to be a driver? I'm like, sure, I'm doing nothing. I'm literally going on a road trip. I'm going to drive across the country in like 2 weeks. I had a road trip planned to drive from San Francisco across the country. Fly to San Francisco, pick up a car, and drive across the country. And I did that. But right before that, like a week and a half before that, my friend was like, hey, you want to drive? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, we need someone to be a driver for this comedian, Stephen He, for this thing called Day Tripping. We're going to do a YouTube series. And I was like, sure. So we're going to go from Columbus to Pittsburgh to Cleveland to Chicago and then back. And you have to drive the whole time. All right. I'm fine with that. So I'm going to be the driver. Then once I met the producer, he's like, we're going to have you be part of this. I'm like, okay, sure. So let's see if this works, right? Let's see if we can get the audio. Since Charlie X, you're the only one here right now, you're going to have to let me know if you can hear it, if it's too loud, if it's working, all right? So please stay a minute, Charlie X. I need at least somebody to let me know that this works. This is the first time I've used this laptop for this. All right, so I'll talk over it a little bit, but we'll see if it works. So here we go. Camera 1, doing that, and then going on day tripping.
It's food tripping.
There it is.
And it's day tripping with Heinz.
So that's me
Verified.
driving.
I am Stephen
in the van.
He.
There's Stephen
Heading
He.
to 3 cities I've never been to visit
Cleveland,
17 restaurants
17
you have to
restaurants,
taste to believe.
food.
I'm not just
There's
eating,
Steven.
I'm finding out what it takes to run these places,
so
verifying
this was
the
filmed
very
horizontally,
best.
so it's going to be a little weird. You're going to miss some stuff, I think. But there we go. All right, there's the path.
First
Pittsburgh.
day in Pittsburgh.
There's me
These
driving
buildings
again.
are crazy.
Now, I should not
If you
finish
didn't
me.
tell, I
Oh, wait,
think I'm
that's
in
my
New York
arm.
right
You
now.
can't see
They've
me.
got great
How do I
sports,
center this
great
better?
music,
Shit.
great
All right,
food.
I said
that's
one
why
for the
I'm
ride.
here.
Crap,
I just came to eat.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to figure out how to center this
Pittsburgh
better.
is the perfect city to
on,
start because
okay,
we
so
are
you can
sent on
hear
this
it.
trip
Awesome.
by
Thank you,
Heinz.
Charlie X. I
And
really appreciate
Pittsburgh is the home of
it is a lot of pressure, but hey, I
when
need
a
somebody
city
to
has
like,
something
you know.
go as global
Like,
as
is the
Heinz
volume
does,
okay? Not
it must
too
be
loud?
a pride for the whole city.
Well, that's just funny. Okay, yeah, because I guess it was shot horizontal, so it's vertical. Yeah, what's his name? Randy. It says Randy. Breakfast at Kellyo. Okay, far out. So it does work. All right.
Hello, everybody. I am Steven E. here with Heinz Verified in
that's all I need to
Pittsburgh
know.
for
I need
one
to
day.
know
We're
if
going to
that
hit
works.
3 spots.
So knowing that it works is half the battle. I appreciate you. It's slightly louder than my voice. Wow, that's loud then because I'm normally really loud. So if it's slightly louder than my voice, I can turn the volume down probably on the
breakfast, lunch,
thing.
and dinner. I'm going to find out
and
what's
just bring
special
it
about
down
the
a little
city,
bit.
about the restaurants, and maybe pick up a few skills in
So
myself.
let's see.
This is Kelly's
that
Diner,
better?
our breakfast
you
spot
can't,
of the
I put
day.
it back on
I've
just
been
so you
told
can see
Kelly
it.
is
How's
somewhat
that
of an
volume
absolute
wise?
local legend. Kelly's going to put me to work, and I'm here for it.
Is that better volume?
How old is the restaurant?
So
Better.
I
Perfect.
bought
All
my
right,
first
great.
restaurant 23
Stupendous.
years ago. I took
Thank
this
you.
one
You're,
over 13
you were
years
truly
ago,
helpful.
and
I
then my
appreciate you
third
greatly,
one I took.
Charlie X. Where are you at, Charlie X? Where exactly do you hail from at this moment? I'm curious. I always like to know where people are from. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I just came back from Rhode Island. Outstanding. I fucking love Rhode Island, dude. Rhode Island's awesome. I've been up there a few times. That picture that was from last night is actually from Massachusetts. Where the hell is it? Cape Town. That picture was from Cape Town. I was up in Massachusetts like a year ago, and in the fall, and they were like, "There's lots of sharks in the water." I'm like, "Okay." I went like shin deep because I was like, "I am so not going to get eaten by a shark," especially if I'm just like wading in the water. And I was like, "That's so not happening." But Rhode Island's awesome, bro. Love Rhode Island. What a beautiful, beautiful place that is. I was up there for the tall ships. Yeah, oh man, beautiful. Outstanding. Rhode Island, love it. Shout out to Rhode Island. My dad's from Massachusetts, so there you go. J Flight. All right, so normal stuff. We'll do music stuff tonight. I don't have a ton of music stuff tonight. I didn't do my research today. I apologize. I cut I cut grass today, so I had to go cut. I had to cut my yard. And then my neighbor said, "I can cut my yard." I'm like, "Sure, whatever. We'll pay." I'm like, "Okay." And then they're like, "Oh, can you cut this yard too?" I'm like, "Sure." Then I had to go down and cut a building that the radio station was housed in. And then somebody else was like, "Can you cut this yard?" I'm like, "Sure." So 5.5 hours cutting grass today. I smelled like gasoline. I still smell like gasoline. Even though I showered and like actually washed up, I still smell shitty. So that's awesome. You just made a video with that shark warning sign in it from Cape Town? From that same place? That's pretty wild. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah, because that's like, I was like, okay. They're like, active. I'm like, well, I mean, I grew up on the beach in New Jersey, but, Cape Cod. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Cape Cod's gorgeous. Love it. Yeah, because I've been in the ocean most of my life growing up, the beach, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Seaside Heights, New Jersey, Cape May, and then, of course, up in when I would go up to Cape Cod and go into White Horse Bay in Plymouth and other such places. But, yeah, the whole shark sign thing, I was like, whoa, that's kind of a bit of a shocker. I've never actually seen the sign for shark. So yeah, I'm going to do just a little bit of I'll do some music stuff tonight and, all that good stuff. But we'll talk a little bit about just, the normal music stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to definitely do Mystery Science Theater 3000 talking about videos, because now that I know that I can do it, if I can get horizontal or vertical videos, I can put them on and we can watch and we can lambaste them together. So, so that's what I'm going to do. That's part of what I'm going to do for music. Yes, that's it. Now, I know that YouTube will probably be mad at me for doing that, so I'm sure I'll get banned for that. But at least TikTok won't ban me. So that's kind of the plan. All right? Perfect. So, Welcome to Randsanity, May the 2nd, 2 days. May the 4th be with you. And then, of course, Cinco de Mayo, where the Spanish kicked the French's ass. So that's happening. T-minus 30 days to 1 year of doing this. 2 weeks, we've got Rock on the, or God, I keep saying Rock on the Rage, Sonic Temple. I secured my AC/DC tickets yesterday, as I said, for the AC/DC show here on July the 15th. Wednesday, July 15th. What a weird night to have that. So I'm looking forward to the AC/DC. So I'm definitely looking forward to My Chemical Romance and all the Sonic Temple bands. They'll be coming to Columbus here in 2 weeks. So excited about that. All right, so let's talk about what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Gilligan's Island. So we're talking about islands. The guy who wrote Gilligan's Island, his name was George Weil. He died on this day in 2003 at the age of 87. And he wrote the theme song for Gilligan's Island and a couple other things. So in memory of him, I figured I'm just going to go ahead and sing it. And if you don't like that, well, that's too bad. So, you know, you're not here anyway. So just sit back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful ship, a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor, and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Isle. So this is the tale of the castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They'll have to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. The first mate and the skipper, too, will do their very best to make the others comfortable in this tropic island nest. No phone, no lights, no motor cars, not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, as primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends. You're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Isle. There you go. Gilligan's Island theme by George Weil, who died at the age of 87 on this day in 2003. That was sort of, I almost would like to have that William Shatner voice to do that one. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Shatner reads the Ballad of Gilligan's Isle. I crack myself up, just so you know. That's what I do. If you don't, it's okay. I get it. All right, so this is like this is something about. So here's some actual rappers that you don't want to fight. Okay, I found this little thing about rappers that you really don't want to fight. Plenty of them brag about how tough they are in their music. A lot of times, the form that violence takes invokes a lot of guns, escalating into life or death situations. But what happens when we put the arms down? Who can really go blow for blow when it's no ammunition involved? What about a good old-fashioned fist fight? Huh? While some artists might lose some of the toughness as a result, others live what they rap about. So the rappers that really could whip it at. So first off, we got 50 Cent. Once you learn that 50 Cent has hands, All the incessant trolling makes a lot of sense. Close friends and news outlets like XXL have vouched for his skills as a boxer. He was so nice that he was fighting in the Junior Olympics. I started boxing at 12 and I was above weight for my age, so they put me in the ring with adults. When you're fighting all the time, it gives you the ability to fight without getting angry, 50 said once. Clearly, his antagonism is fueled by the fact that he can knock his enemies out, even if they ever press an issue. Mike, here's my bad putting hands on that nerd. Boop. I just used the trying to dance. Boop. As learned quicker. Mike Rapper, man in the mirror. There have been rumors swirling that the underground darling beat up fellow rapper and former friend Medhane. They had split ways after Medhane was accused of sexual assault back in 2020. Also, an interaction I've had with Medhane since I was notified about the situation had me holding accountable and letting him know he's responsible for hurting this woman. And I think anybody that loved or cared for him as to love and care for people should do the same. Mike said at the time, if nothing else, the burning desire rapper stands on his principles. Lupe Fiasco. The samurai practice isn't just aesthetic. He's not some nerd who made a song about skateboarding. Lupe Fiasco comes from a deep martial arts discipline, practicing since he was 3 years old. The story is my family business is the martial arts. My father had martial arts schools in Chicago for 40 years. He started doing martial arts when he was in his early teens. He could have been a world judo champion if he didn't hurt his shoulder. Or, as his sensei said, if he had trained a bit more, next time you see Lupe swinging his sword, you know really that he knows how to use it. So, don't get in a fight with 50 Cent, apparently. He actually knows how to box. We don't want that. No fighting with 50 Cent, okay? I'm going to go right to history because, like I said, I don't have a ton of stuff today. I am going to talk a little bit teeny about Spirit Airlines. So, back in the day, there used to be an airline called People's Express. Okay? People's Express was sort of the first, I think it was the first alliteration of what you would consider budget airlines. Okay? People's Express, their whole thing was, it was standby. So you got there, you waited in line, you got on the plane, you went, and it was cheap, so cheap. I mean, like ridiculously cheap. Like flying from Newark to Columbus was like $26 each way. I shit you not. One 4th of July, a buddy of mine, Poodle Doo, his name was Scott. We called him Poodle Doo because he had, a mullet before there was a mullet. I think he had a perm, so we called him Poodle Doo. And so People's Express Airlines literally was the bus with wings. You just kind of, grabbed all your shit, stood in line, and when they're like, okay, blah, the first 52 people, you paid cash, you got on the fucking airplane, and it went. So it was every flight, was packed. Because it was cheap. And it flew, okay, today's the one going to Boston. So 4th of July, I think it was like 1996, maybe. Newark, or no, maybe it was 86. I don't remember. Newark to Boston. Flew out. It was like $12 or $18 each way. And you couldn't buy round trip, but, each way. So got on the plane, packed. Everyone's going up to Boston. We went to a party. Had lobster, got drunk, and had to come. The last flight was coming back. We're like, okay, we have nowhere to stay. We just went to this party knowing these dudes, and it wasn't like we could stay there. So we had to get back. So we get on the airplane to come back. And again, here's my $18 cash. I get on the plane with my friend Poodle Doo Scott. And there's nobody on the plane. The plane is completely empty except for 2 dudes, like business dudes, that are wrecked. I mean, wrecked. Like they're incoherent. They're so drunk. I don't know how they got on the plane, to be honest with you. This is also when you brought booze on the plane. No one gave a shit. You could carry a 5th of Jack Daniels and be like, booze? Did that once. Hand to God. And so the stewardess was like, and she went to the cockpit. And that was it. We never saw her again. Ransacked the plane. Flick opened every cabinet, every drawer, booze, whatever, just ransacked it. Got off the plane, was like, thanks. People's Express Airlines. I can't believe that they abandoned and stranded 1,300 staff members all over the country. That's the thing that gets me. It's like we have to find 1,300 people across the country that they have to go get because they abandoned them. We're closing down operations. Oh, yeah, you're somewhere else. You have to find a way back. We've abandoned you. Oh, shit. All right, so on this day, 1963, the Beatles are number one in the singles chart with From Me to You. It was the group's first number one and first 11 consecutive number ones. The title of the song was inspired from a news column called From You to Us that ran the British newspaper, The New Musical Express. Now, the thing that's interesting about the UK is right now it is 4 a.m. in the UK, 5 a.m. in Paris. So that's why I don't have a lot of UK people that watch this or Parisians because it's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. My buddy, who's always here, will be in London in 4 days and then Paris for a week. So he watches every night. So I already challenged him. I was like, okay. I was like, you're going to watch, right? There's no way he's getting up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning in England and 5 o'clock in the morning in Paris to watch this. So he's going to miss a total week. So I'm going to have to give him shit the whole time. All right, on this day, the Rolling Stones' self-titled album started a 12-week run at number one on the UK charts. The album spent 51 weeks on the UK chart. Also this day, the Stones made their first appearance on the US singles chart with Not Fade Away and entered the chart at 98. 1969, the Beatles recorded a remake of the new George Harrison song Something at Abbey Road Studios in London. They recorded 36 takes of the song, which included Billy Preston on piano. The track is featured on the Abbey Road album. Led Zeppelin played the first of two nights at the Pasadena Rose Palace in California. Many other acts appeared, including the Byrds, Cream, Santana, Grateful Dead, and Joe Cocker. 1969. 1969 as well, The Who gave a press preview of the new rock opera Tommy at Ronnie Scott's in London, England. The double album about a deaf, dumb, and blind boy who became the leader of a Masonic movement was the first musical work to be billed overtly as a rock opera. In 1998, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame for historical, artistic, and significant value and has now sold over 20 million copies worldwide. Pink Floyd appeared in Manchester Chamber of Commerce, England on this day in 1969. The show was recorded for the forthcoming album Umaguma. One-hit wonder Norman Greenbaum was number one in the UK singles chart with Spirit in the Sky. Also number one hit for Doctor and the Medics in 1986 and Garth Gates in 2003. Going on up to the Spirit in the Sky. One-hit wonder, Norman Greenbaum. So everyone can have a one-hit wonder, apparently. 1972, Bruce Springsteen auditioned for CBS Records A&R man John Hammond in New York. Springsteen played a short set for him in his office. Hammond was so impressed that he arranged a real audition that night at the Gaslight Club in New York for other Columbia executives. Bruce passed the audition, but we knew that, right? 1978, Kate Bush. Kate Bush was on the UK charts with her debut album, The Kick Inside. The album, which featured the singer's number one hit, Wuthering Heights, peaked at number 3, spending a total of 70 weeks on the UK chart. Joy Division played what would be the last gig with singer Ian Curtis when they appeared at Birmingham University on this date in 1980. Curtis left us by his own hand 2 weeks later. Scottish singer Sheena Easton started a 2-week run at number 1 on the US singles chart with Morning Train, 9 to 5. The title of the song was changed to avoid any confusion with a Dolly Parton hit, 9 to 5, in the same year, 1981. Cutting Crew started a 2-week run at number 1 in the U.S. singles chart with I Just Died in Your Arms. And I'm surprised by this. I'm not talking about them being arrested for something. The English rock band The Stone Roses in 1989 released their self-titled debut album on Silvertone Records. In 2008, it was named the 5th greatest British album ever by a Q Magazine HMV poll. The album has sold over 4 million copies worldwide. I love the Stone Roses, but every time I report about the Stone Roses, it's because they've been arrested for something on this day, because they were quite the rabble-rousers. 1989, a security guard alerted the police after a man wearing a wig, fake mustache, and false teeth walked into Zales Jewelers in California. 3 squad cars arrived and police detained the man, who turned out to be Michael Jackson in disguise. Oh, Michael, what are you doing, buddy? Going to the jewelry store. 1991, the video for the REM song Losing My Religion was banned in Ireland because its religionary imagery was unfit for broadcast. At the 1992 Grammy Awards, Losing My Religion won Best Short Form Music Video and Best Pop Performance. Its video won awards for Video of the Year, Best Group Video, Breakthrough Video, Best Art Direction, and Best Editing at the 1991 MTV Video Music Awards. Losing my religion. Nirvana booked into sound studios in Van Nuys, California for 16 days starting on this date. On a budget of $65,000 and with Butch Vig producing, the band started recording what would become the Nevermind album. Butch Vig is a super nice guy. I've met him a couple of times, actually. Also Nirvana in 1992, little-known UK duo Nirvana filed a suit against the American band of the same name, claiming that they had been using the name since 1968. The dispute was settled out of court in a British band's favor. So they got paid. That's what happened. They got paid. Yes, they did. They got paid. Varg Vikernes, the leader of the Norwegian black metal band Burzum, began his trial for the murder of rival black metal musician and former bandmate Øystein Aldseth, co-founder of the band Mayhem. The two men had been confrontational, and in August of 1993, which ended with a fatal stabbing of Arseth, Vikernes was convicted at the trial and was sentenced to 21 years in prison. However, he was released on probation in May of 2009. Nothing like black metal bands that are fighting to the death. Japanese rock star Hideo Matamusto was found in his bathroom at his Tokyo apartment and died in the hospital a short time later at the age of 33. His funeral, held on May 7th, was attended by over 70,000 people and required 100 police officers, 170 security guards. Sorry. Okay. May 7th was attended by over 70,000 people. It required 100 police officers, 170 security guards, police boats, and helicopters. 21 people were hospitalized for injuries caused by the massive crowds at his funeral. Man, tell you what, those Japanese rock stars, phew, far and few between, but man, their fans are crazy. 2004, Total Guitar Magazine, never heard of him, readers voted Guns N' Roses' anthem Sweet Child of Mine as the greatest guitar riff ever heard. And of Nirvana's grunge anthem Smells Like Teen Spirit, Led Zeppelin's Hold On to Love came in third, followed by Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. Total Guitar editor Scott Rowley said, "To a new generation of guitarists, Guns N' Roses are more thrilling than the Sex Pistols." Okay, so right there, what I'm going to say is, Total Guitar Magazine, you suck. And Scott Rowley, you're wrong. Okay? Guns N' Roses is not better than the Sex Pistols. So go fuck yourself. Eric Clapton joined former Cream members Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce for the first 4 nights at the London Royal Albert Hall, 36 years after they had split up. Tickets were changing hands for more than $700 on eBay, and fans had flown over from the U.S. to witness the reunion, which Clapton, age 60, is said to have agreed to because of the failing health of other former members of the band. 2005. 2006, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards was released from the hospital in New Zealand after the then 62-year-old suffered a mild concussion when he fell out of a coconut tree while on holiday in Fiji. He was airlifted to Auckland's Ascot Hospital for observation, where he underwent a brain scan. 60-year-old suffered a mild concussion when he fell out of a coconut tree. Words that I didn't think I'd be saying anytime soon, but it happens. In 2007, almost 2,000 musicians gathered in the Polish city of Wrocław to play a rock anthem by Jimi Hendrix. The guitarists were aiming to set the new Guinness World Record by gathering 1,876 guitarists in the city's market square to play Hey Joe. Organizers say it was the biggest guitar assembly in recorded history. I did not Google that. I don't know if that's true. Chad Kroeger was banned from driving for a year after being convicted of drunk driving in the Canadian city of Vancouver. The 30-year-old Nickelback singer had almost twice the legal limit of alcohol in his system when he was stopped by police speeding in his Lamborghini. Oh, Chad, 2008. In 2009, a rare Motown 7-inch single sold for $38,000, setting a new record. Kenny Burrell from Fife in Scotland put the unreleased 1965 single Do I Love You, Indeed I Do by Frank Wilson up for auction. The single was one of only 2 in the world. Motown boss Berry Gordy had all other copies destroyed after Wilson moved into songwriting and producing. British record dealer John Manship, who organized the sale, said the buyer wished to remain anonymous. Wilson went on to write hits for the Supremes and the Four Tops. 2009, Bob Dylan mingled unnoticed with other Beatles tourists during a minibus tour to John Lennon's childhood home. He was one of 14 tourists to examine photos and documents in the National Trust-owned home, where Lennon grew up with his Aunt Mimi and Uncle George. Dylan, who was on a day off on European paid tour, he paid $22 for the public trip to the 1940 house in Woolton, Liverpool. 2013, it was announced that the Spice Girls musical Viva Forever was to close at the end of June 2013. The production was written by Jennifer Saunders, suffered poor ticket sales after damning reviews. Shocking. I'm so shocked that it suffered poor ticket sales after damning reviews. This seems appropriate. Jeff Hanneman, founding member of the rock band Slayer, died at the age of 49 on this day in 2013. The guitarist had been suffering from necrotizing fasciitis, a flesh-eating disease that he is believed to have contracted from a spider bite in 2011. Hanneman was being treated at a local hospital where he suffered liver failure. So you're in a heavy metal band Slayer, you get bitten by a spider, and you die of a flesh-eating disease. Wow. I can't write this shit. Just saying. Dua Lipa, on this day, May the 2nd, 2020, was number 1 on the UK chart with her second album, Future Nostalgia. The album won a Brit Award for British Album of the Year and the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards. Future Nostalgia was nominated for Album of the Year and won Best Pop Vocal Album, whilst the singers Don't Start Now was nominated for the Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance. Funny things that happened on this day. 1997, Austin Powers, Man of Mystery, was released in theaters. Mike Myers was only funny once, and that was then. I don't know what happened to Mike Myers. Where's Mike Myers now? Also 1997, Eddie Murphy arrested with a prostitute. No less, it was a transvestite prostitute. Good old Eddie Murphy. Live that one down, buddy. Also on this day, 2011, Flavor Flav, boy, he was arrested for multiple outstanding motor vehicle violations. So what do you have, like speeding tickets, parking tickets, whatever? I mean, Flavor Flav, you got to love the fact that he gets arrested for something so minor as like traffic infractions, motor vehicle infractions. No guns, none of that stuff. Thank you, Flavor Flav, for just getting arrested for something so innocuous that we could all have that happen to us. Boy! Shit. Born on this day, 92 years old, died last year, Bruce Glover. He was in Diamonds Are Forever. He was Mr. Wint. He was one of the assassins. If you remember the very stinky assassins, Mr. Wint. Yes. Lance Segal from A-Team. He was Colonel Decker. He died in 2012. He would have been 90 years old today. Lorenzo Music. Carlton the Doorman would have been 89 years old today. Died in 2001. Bianca Jagger, speaking of the Rolling Stones, 81 years old today. Ex-Mrs. Jagger. David Chaussette, who played Hercule Poirot on the TV shows, 81 years old today. Christian Jane Buriski. She was in the Birdcage. She was the mom in the Birdcage. She also was in a bunch of other stuff, but she was also in The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version, where she was the love interest of Jim Carrey in that one. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, 54 years old today. Jeff Gutt of STP, 50 years old today. No, the STP is playing. Stone Temple Pilots is going to play. He was like the X Factor winner. They're playing at Sonic Temple in a couple weeks here. So I'm interested to see what he's like. I've seen Scott Weiland play. I saw Stone Temple Pilots play like big venue, and I watched them in a club. I actually saw STP in a very small club in Boston some years ago. So I'm excited to see what he sounds like. Obviously, it's no Scott Weiland, but we'll see how he is in Stone Temple Pilots, happening here in Columbus, Ohio in 2 weeks at the Sonic Temple Festival. So if you're going to be going to it, let me know. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. Ellie Kemper from The Office. She was Erin in The Office. Her birthday today, 46. Bob Hernwright of Argent. Hold your head up. Oh, hold your head up. Oh, hold your head high. 82 years old today. Let's see. Gold McJohn of Steppenwolf. I like to dream. Magic Carpet Ride. 81. Leslie Gore. It's my party and I cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if you knew what I knew. Died in 2015. Luke Graham of Foreigner, 76. And Steve Bays of Hot Hot Heat, 48 years old today. Died on this day, Lynn Redgrave at the age of 67 in 2010. As I said, George Weil, who wrote the Gilligan's Island theme song, which I sung earlier. If you weren't here, you missed it. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And Jeff Hanneman of Slayer, 49 years old, died on this day in 2013. But yes, I did say that, the whole Gilligan's Island theme is bring out the van of the Midwest Psych Fest next week. Okay, let me know. Psych Fest, send me the info. Where's Psych Fest? Tell me all that stuff. I don't have the info. Send it to me. Send it on Facebook. I will totally check out the Psych Fest. Love Psych Fest. Yes, so I mean, I think that... Oh, the Dogfather. What's up, Dogfather? It's been a minute. I would love to have William Shatner read The Ballad of Gilligan's Island. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure, 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Oh, shit. William Shatner, ladies and gentlemen. Where is that metal album? I'm going to have to Google that. William Shatner's come up with a fucking metal album. I told him he better not die. The guy's like 99 years old or something. But he's still fucking humping. And, you know, God love the man, but you need to make sure that album gets done before you croak, bro. I'm just telling you. I will be majorly disappointed if there is no William Shatner heavy metal album. Just saying, okay? Like, follow, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. So, yes, episode 335 in the can. Tomorrow's 336, 5/3/26. T-minus 29 days to doing this one full year. Every single night I have not missed a day yet. I got a thing from TikTok that said, you are beating 100% of other live streamers. I'm like, yeah, damn right I am. Do this every fucking day. You better beat people. Oh, shit. All right, so now that I know that camera 1 works, and I can go ahead and I can actually put videos up, which is awesome. You know, this is the best part is you can see, like I said, so 1 year ago today, what was I doing a year ago today? I know exactly what I was doing a year ago today. I was doing this. Coming up. Ta-da!
I am Stephen Heath. Heading
I was
to 3
doing
cities
Stephen
I've never been
Heath's
to
show,
visit
day
17
tripping.
restaurants You have to taste
I was
to
the
believe.
guy in the van
I'm
along
not
for the
just
ride,
eating, I'm
as
finding
they
out what
say.
it takes to run these
Along for the
places,
ride.
verifying the very
Yes,
best.
that's exactly right. So, if you want to go check it out, you can check out Day Tripping. It is
First day in
on
Pittsburgh.
YouTube
These buildings
with
are
Stephen Heath.
crazy.
And I'm along for it.
You
Look,
can
there's
tell
my
I think I'm in
arm.
New
You
York
can't
right
see
now.
the picture,
They've
but it's
got
my
great
profile. but
sports,
really,
great
'cause it's
music,
vertical on
great
TikTok.
food.
And like there, it
so
says Brady
that's
Malloy
why
along
I'm
for the
here.
ride.
I just came
Yeah, I
to
know.
eat.
It's pretty
Yeah.
funny. What are you going to do, right? So check that out. Maybe we can get a subscription. Literally, that was exactly 1 year ago today. So now I need to do something else. More road trips. Jeremy, where are you? I'm going to meet with Jeremy, the producer from the thing, tomorrow. We're supposed to meet today, but no, he was busy. Sorry for there, Jeremy. Don't mean to give you shit. Oop, wrong camera. Sorry. I had to push the wrong button. Pirate error. All right. Anyway, I'm going to depart, and we'll do this again tomorrow. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Remember, don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, watch, share, all that shit. All right? We'll do this all again tomorrow. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to send them to my publicist. Right here. I got it. I got that. No publicist. Again, thank you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. And have brunch tomorrow. And do something nice for somebody. Just because. Everything's so shitty. Do good things for good people. And even for bad people. Just because. As per usual, fade to black.